Oh, what's up? What's up, people? It's your boy, Puerto Rock 77. All right, so bear with me. I'll make sure everything's copacetic. I just want to make sure everything sounds good. Sounds good. All right, sounding good. Everything's sounding good. Everything's sounding good. All right. I may sound a little far back, almost like a concert type voice. That's only because I have my mic down here, and I need to back up to do the board. What's going on, people? This is your boy, Puerto Rock 77. The room's filling up nicely. Danny, my man, was the first one here. He said, ready, patiently waiting. It's worth the wait. Triggers, what's going on? Ross Eddie, what's up? AC, what's good? You know, D Truth, what's up? You know, Carlos Fernandez. Y que lo que, hermano? What's up? Blue Rendezvous, hi. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Their days, what's up? Papa, what's going on? Inferno Fox, want to let the room fill up a little bit. Filling up nicely. What's up? Corral, So Shady. You know, the board, here we go. You know what I'm saying? It's the substitute. You ever seen the substitute on P and Q? Key and Peele? The little thing? Hey, Ron. You done messed up, hey, Ron. You know what I'm saying? D Nice, Denise. D Nice, Denise. I love that. So if you've been to my channel for a while, you see I did a couple. Every time I do this type of video, and kind of like a professor type video or a video where I'm teaching something, I always use that dude as my thumbnail. I just love. I heard that we're making a movie. I would see that. I would buy that movie. I just love that character. You know, Jay Quillen. It's like Jacqueline. You just that skit is hilarious. My man 696. You know what I'm saying? Blue Rendezvous. That skit's funny. You know what I'm saying? Some people. Aaron. That's what I'm talking. God damn it. You know, it's hilarious. I love that character. So you're gonna see that thumbnail. So anyway, my man Van Pan, what's going on? 696, what's up, Rooster? Room's filling up, super villain, classes in session. You know, in my aerialist, that's right. Classroom, let Sam Walton, what's going on? Caleb, So Shady, what's going on? Room's filling nicely. Please hit the like button, spread it on your social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter. We got 46 watching now. Is he yelling yet? Well, not here. So Silver's like, why is he always yelling? I grew up in a Puerto Rican household. We yell. That's just how it is. It pays off being a Marine because yelling's normal for us. You know, so I guess that's what helps. EJ, JW, what's going on? Meta, Jimbo, what's going on? What Shinbi plays, what's good, everybody? Again, hit the like button, retweet it out. Yeah, that's right, Blue. Let them know we loud. That's what we do. A lot of people think we yelling and stuff, but that's not how it is. Dark Side Havoc, running the professional. Danny, what's going on? The random guy. Oh man, everybody's filling up the room nicely. All right, so just give a little background. All right, so now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go a little background because I know some people. Kunk Girl, what's going on, girl? Ryan, thank you for showing up. Sorry about that. There's going to be some people who watch this video live and wondering why I talk about sales. We're gamers. All right? We're going to say a couple of things. Number one, I run a YouTube channel. So sales is part of the discussion when it comes to gaming, whether we like it or not. Sales impact the product that we like. If you don't believe me, go talk to Sega fans. I'm still am a Sega fan, but I was a Sega console fan. Notice, when was the last time I bought a Sega console? Dreamcast was the last one. Why? Sales. All right. Just for a little quick background, the reason why I learned about sales so much is because, again, I started gaming, back, during the Nintendo era, the Sega Master System, all that stuff, right? And throughout that time period, I always convinced my parents to buy it, or I earned the money myself, through allowances and neighborhood projects and stuff like that as a kid, to buy gaming products. And I would buy almost every gaming product. I had Rob the Robot on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I had the Bazooka on Nintendo. I had the Power Glove. I had the Sega CD, the TurboGrafx CD, the Sega Master System 3D glasses. I had that. The guns on both platforms. What else I had? You know, I had iToy. I had the trackpad, if you remember, on Nintendo. I think it was Nintendo Super. I think it was on Nintendo. You know, you would play track and field, and you would just, you know, touch the pad. And then if you would cheat, you would use your hands, and you would just tap with your fingers, and the guy is running like the Flash. I did all that. I even bought third-party stuff like U-Force, you know, where you just punch. You know, there was motion control stuff like that long before what we had now. So I would buy all this stuff, and some of those stuff was really cool, like the bazooka. That was dope. Sega CD was fantastic. Even 32X, I bought that. That was great. But they were never successful. They would die out, and I would be left wondering, damn, how come I don't see no more games for this? Or, you know, what happened, you know? And at that age, I didn't really understand. Because all I saw, from my perspective, from the gamer perspective, was the fun side. And today, a lot of people say, you know, that's all that matters. But you can't have fun on a product that if games aren't made. That's just a reality. You can't have fun with a product if developers stop supporting it. Your fun is only as good as the third-party developers or even the first-party developers are willing to make the game. My man Cali Rex, yo, what's good, man? The finest, Rohan Star LM. Everybody's filling up here. What's going on, man? I appreciate you guys showing up, man. And I hope you enjoyed this video, okay? But this video specifically, I'm replying to G-4-G Media, their YouTube channel. The two people's name are Moxie, G-4-G Media, and Avers. I hope I pronounced the name. No, I hope I didn't disrespect it. Avers, G-4-G Media. Those are the two people that own them. My man all day was good. Nate 50 Cal, what's up? Right. So back to that. After all that, I was still a hardcore gamer. I was still into the industry. So around the PlayStation 1 N64 time frame, I decided, let me learn more about what's going on. So all the magazines I used to buy anyway, you know, Game Pro, Electronics Gaming Monthly, all that stuff, I used to bypass all the editorials. I just went straight to like the games and the game reviews. I ignored like almost like half the content I used to ignore. I started reading the editorials. I started reading what developers are saying. I used to start reading letters that were sent to the editor talking about the industry. And as I was reading it, I was like, holy shit. You know, these products are selling bad. And if the product is selling bad, how do you expect a developer to make game for a product that's selling bad? That's a waste of time. So that's when I started realizing sales impact gamers. Whether we want to admit it or not, it impacts what we get to play and what we don't get to play, right? If you ever wonder, why did this game go to this console but they didn't come to my console, it's going to be one of two reasons. Either A, the owner of the other console paid for the rights, or B, the developer feels the money wasn't worth it to release it on your platform. That's just the reality. Those are one or two things. You know? Now, I'm not saying each of you or anybody has to pay attention to sales. You don't have to if you don't want to. But at the same time, I would think you don't care about your platform, why it gets this, why don't get that. You're probably not concerned about that either. But if you are concerned about why did this fail, or why I'm not getting these games, or why is that platform getting more stuff than my platform, chances are sales is 75% of the answer, all right? So with that said, all right, and I think we're at the point, let me see, we have 95 people watching, 35 likes. Come on, please hit the like button. And for anything else, to get the knowledge around that, hey, Portwork's about to talk to something. So now a little bit of background, all right? And at any time, if the video, if I'm botting or anything's messing up, please let me know. But I set up the network to where, you know, this is the priority. So Worry Wart on Twitter made a tweet showing this video. Let me get my information here. And he said, you know, something to the effect that our PS4 game sells bad or whatever. He goes, here's, you know, pretty much a good conversation using real numbers, real data, and stuff like that. He also made a final tweet saying, here comes, you know, cue in the pitchforks. And it's true. Some people are going to act sideways on that data information, okay? So here's a disclaimer for everybody to follow, okay? Really going to do math? Yeah, we about to do some math here. All right, number one, don't use this as part of the console war in terms of attacking. This is just a conversation. You know, G4G Media got some information and they're presenting it, and this is how their perception was. I'm just replying on it to expand to open the aperture, to see what they're saying really holds weight, you know? But this is not an insult video. This is not a bashing video. This is definitely not an exposed video. This is just simply a conversation video, okay? So, at G4G, G-4-G Tech Media, it's a YouTuber. You can check them out. They made a video discussing, you know, the video had other topics, but one segment of that video was talking about PS4 games not selling well on the platform, despite PS4 being the #1 selling console, yada, 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 all this stuff, right? Moxie, who's one of the hosts of the show, and she has another host, Avers, they're both discussing this. And they're both of the opinion that game sales on the PS4 are not good. You know, that Sony's having issues trying to sell games, okay? At Consumer Electronics Show 2018, Sony released official numbers. Those numbers are hardware sales and game sales, right? Those numbers, Moxie and Avers are using, and they presented it in a way to show that the information Sony provided validates what they've been saying for a while, that Sony's been having issues with game sales, okay? And I think specifically, Moxie said, in the video, that the numbers Sony provided at CES backs up her claim, what she's been saying, okay? So let's go with what they've been saying, all right? Now, let me make sure everything's all right. Now, I'm not paying too attention to the chat. So if you send a super chat right now and I don't respond, please don't find it as disrespect. Right now, I'm looking at myself just to make sure I don't get in the way of the board, okay? So I'm going to say again, I'm not paying attention to the chat right now. I don't have that screen up, okay? Oh, maybe I can. Hold on. Let me see. Maybe I could do something. Hold up. I think I could do something. Let me do something. What can I do? I think there's a way I could open up the box separately. Live chat. Hold on, I got this. Pop out chat. Yeah, I can do it. Boom. We good. Live chat. We good. Hold up. Hey, you stay right there. Okay, we good. Yeah, I got the live chat. I got this pop out chat. Yeah, I can do it. All right. Why are you talking? We good. Live chat. What are you talking? Hey, what are you doing? Stay right there. Pause for the cause. We don't want to hear you. All right, and I got the pop-out chat. Yep, all right, so I got the pop-out chat, so I could do both. Okay, boom. You know, we're looking good. We're looking crisp. So, yeah, I'll be able to pay attention at the same time. Boom, resize that shit. Resize what? The board? All right. Now there's 2 rocks. Too much. You can never get enough rocks. Remember that. All right. YouTube can always use more rocks. All right. All right. So, no me estoy gustando esto. All right. Boom. All right. We ready. Now we got it. Okay. So now we got it. All right. So back to what I was saying. G4G Media got official numbers from CES. So they are using real numbers and they're using real math. So we're going to do that too. All right. Real math. All right. So let's go over what they said. All right. And they got this straight. All right. My man Gamer. Everybody else, you need more giant rocks. You know, Apollo. All right, so here we go. So Moxie reported numbers of the PS4, and Sony reported game sales wise. So games, right, equals, and I'm gonna put this a big number, 645. Man, let me erase this because you guys need to see it. So I'm just gonna make it real big for you guys. 645 million. All right, y'all can see that? We good? 645 million. So that's games. All right, 645. And Sony sold 73.6 million consoles. So 73.6 million. All right. Okay. Everybody got that? So now what you do is if you divide 645 by 73.6, you get your attach ratio, right? Which is specifically 8.76. They rounded it up to 9, right? So the attach ratio is 9. 9 games per console, right? And I got that, right? Excuse my handwriting. I got prescription handwriting, all right? My man said this episode started right, but I can't turn away. All right? They also said that Sony's been around for 4 years. I mean, not Sony, but the PS4, 4 years. All right. So 9 divided by 4 years is 2 games per console. 2 games per console. So in the end, in their video, and this includes everything. It includes everything. All right. 645 million game sales is physical, digital, AAA, indies, all of that. All right. All game sales. So 2 games per console per year. So ultimately in their video, they said that this validates what they've been saying. That PlayStation 4 is having issues selling games. So now when we look at this, it could be right. 645 million games sounds a lot, right? But then when you break it down by how many consoles out there, you got 9 games per console. And then you divide it by how many years PlayStation's been out, which is 4 years. It averages to about 2 games per console. So are they right? It sounds right. So the first question is, if PlayStation 4 is doing it wrong, then we have to assume somebody else did it right. There has to be another console that did it better, right? I got an idea. Can we apply that to the PS2? PS2 is regarded as the best-selling gaming system in both hardware and software. Is there anybody in the chat that's going to say games didn't sell on PS2? Let me know right now. Do you think anybody, not fanboy, not being a fanboy, do you think there's anybody in the world that's out to say PS2 had trouble selling games? Huh? Crickets. Ain't nobody gonna say PS2 had trouble selling games, right? So Sony reported that 11 years of PS2 life cycle, they sold 1.5 billion games. PS2, 1.5 billion. And they sold 150 million consoles. So that's easy, right? That's 10 games per console, if you do the math. That's not that far off. And considering PlayStation's been out for 11 years, right? If you did that math, 10 games divided by 11 years, that's not even, and we're going to round up, 1 game per console per year. 1. So did PS2 have trouble selling games? The numbers are there. And I did the same exact thing with the PS2 that Moxie and Avers did with the PS4. The same exact thing. So are we going to say games weren't selling on PS2? All right? Now, some people are going to say, well, you're damn right. Because it was bought for a DVD player. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to bring this home. I'm gonna bring up another console, and it's going to be close to the heart for some people. Y'all ready for this? Oh, now it's going to get real for some people. Some people are about to get butthurt. Some people are about to get real butthurt. Some people are be upset. But again, this is analysis. This is not personal opinion. This is not fanboying. This is not consoling. We're just talking numbers. That's what Warrior Ward said on Twitter. It's just an analysis on the numbers we have. All right? Some people feel 360 was the Holy Grail. Many people believe the 360 was the best gaming system last gen, mostly due to game sales. It was all about selling games. So we have some factual information we know. We know in 2013, October, Microsoft announced Xbox sold 80 million consoles, right? Now, here's the tricky part. Microsoft never revealed their total game sales, but they did reveal they have a software attach ratio of 8.1. So we're going to do a little reverse math. Instead of what we did with these two, game sales divided by hardware sales giving us the ratio, what we're going to do is hardware multiplied by game ratio. So 80 million times 8.1, 648 million game sales, software sales. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're in trouble now. Uh-oh. And we all know Xbox 360 launched in 2005. So if this is 2013 numbers, you're talking an 8-year service span, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 8 years of service. So in 8 years, Microsoft sold 80 million consoles, 648 million console sales. If you do the math, that's also only one game per console per year. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're in trouble, dog. What are we doing here? What are we doing? So now, this is where we're going to separate the conversation of, hey, this is just analysis, or if we have ulterior motives. Because if your analysis, and I'm talking to Moxie and Avers, right, and all those who feel PS4 is having issues selling games, so are you guys also going to admit Xbox 360 had major issues selling games? Because look at this. 2 games per console per purchase is double than what 360 did. If you look at the numbers, 360 was out longer, 8 years. And PS4 is only 3 million behind 360. With less consoles out. So if this is bad, what do we rate this? And how does the #1 console of all time, in terms of software sales and hardware sales, doing worse than the PS4? Technically, per game per console, PS4 is the best of all time. We can't see it. Zoom in or some shit. I wish I knew how to zoom in. All right. Well, and hold on. Let me do it real quick. If y'all can't see. There we go. See right there. I'm gonna do it for y'all. All right. There you go. Can y'all see now? Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Y'all see it? We zoomed in. All right. As you can see, this is the total software sales for PS4 reported by Sony at CES. This is the total hardware. This is the ratio. This is how many years PS4 has been out. So it's 2 games per console per year. This is the math that Moxie and Avers use. That's fine. The math is right. All I'm saying is, using that same formula, look at the 360. Am I doing it right? I'm going crazy here. Here we go. This is hard right here. I'm trying to do multiple things. I'm trying to chew gum and walk at the same time. There we go. You see? With 360, 80 million as reported by Microsoft in 2013. They also reported an 8.1 attach ratio. So doing the math, they sold 648 million games. Over an 8-year period, that's only 1 game. So everybody sees that, right? So I'm going to put it back. So everybody saw the numbers. So here's my question. Did 360 have issues selling games? That's what we need to ask. Did the PS2 have issues selling games? Because if we're going to talk about PS4 having trouble selling games, then it's not really PS4. It's the industry. Because these are the top selling consoles Minus this one, because we know Wii. Wii. Wii was the top selling console last gen, was it not? Should we include Wii? Want me to do it? Should I break it down with the Wii? Want to find out Nintendo? Fuck it, let's do Nintendo. Let's do Nintendo. Let's do Nintendo. And I got the numbers right here. Nintendo sold 916 million games. And hardware, 101 million. So they were the winner of the Gen 10s of hardware sold. And technically, they were the winner in software sold. So technically, Wii is the overall winner. But I know a lot of people, because we went in a totally different direction, 360 and PS3 stood for competing with a specific segment. They don't count, whatever. But looking at that ratio, it's about 9 games in a 6-year span, which means about 1.5 games per console. So we did a little bit better than the 360, but not as good. Better than the PS2, but not better than the PS4. So once again, PS4, the console, everybody's saying, well, not everybody, but the console, Avers G4-G Media and Moxie G4-G Media is saying, having trouble selling games, yet factually is doing better than anybody else. So what do we come for this? So what's the real situation? What's the real fact about this? What's the real actual conclusion? Because these are real numbers. I'm using the same system they used. I'm using the same math they used. And I applied it to each and ultimate products. All right. And you can't say I'm being biased Sony fanboy, because I applied it to the PS2 and I applied it to Nintendo and 360. So different companies, different platforms. And the math comes out as PS4 doing better than the other platforms. So ultimately, why we come from this? I'm going to tell you why we come from this. The problem we have here, right, is because of the success of the PS4 this gen, people are trying to find a way to knock it down in some way or form, from one way, form, or fashion. Oh, PS4 may be selling great, but nobody really buying games. That's really what it comes down to. That may not be their intention, but that's the beat of the pulse that's happening. All right. Now, Moxie and Aver's numbers are correct. They use true numbers. They didn't lie. Their math is correct. But there's one thing they didn't try to do. If they felt PS4 sales were bad, what they should have done is, if PS4 is doing bad, we need to look into who did it good. And that's where they messed up. That's what they didn't do. They didn't bother to look at other platforms. They didn't bother to say, all right, we're going to apply the same math, the same logic, and we're going to pick various platforms throughout the generations. We're gonna go after 360. We're going to look at the PS2. We're going to look at the Super Nintendo. We're going to paint a big picture. So that way we can show PS4 sales are not good. Not because of opinion, but because in comparison to other consoles that show they were good. If they would have done that, they would have seen PS4 is actually doing better than consoles we perceived were doing good. But they didn't do that. The truth is, what PS4 is doing is normal. This is actually normal. What you see. In fact, these attach ratios, I remember when Microsoft reached attach ratio of 8.1, they were boasting about it. They were bragging about it. And you can look it up. I think they were boasting 7 at one point. When they reached 7, attach ratio of 7, they were bragging about that. An attach ratio of 7. The point of this video, I know some people be like, oh, here's Porter Rock nonprofit work. It's like I said, if you truly want to look at a console that had a bad attach ratio, PS3. That console had a bad attach ratio. That was one that had a bad attach ratio because it was primarily being advertised as a Blu-ray player. So a lot of people bought that console strictly because of its Blu-ray capabilities. Really bad. All right? The reason why I'm into this conversation is because if you ignore all this and you only focus on this, you're going to have a lot of gamers who are interested in this. They're going to be on Twitter. They're going to be on YouTube. They're going to be in the comment section. They're going to be on podcasts. And they're going to have a conversation that misrepresents the industry. And more people are going to listen to those podcasts, and more people are not going to be properly educated on how the industry goes. Right? And misinformation, I ain't going to use misinformation, but I will say bad information, to me, grooms console war. Because you're going to have a group of people that only focus on this, and they're going to say, oh, you know, PS4 game sales are bad. And then there's going to be a group of people, right, that goes beyond this information, that sees the big picture, and they're going to tell them, no, PS4 sales is not bad. It's actually pretty good. And then them two are going to clash. And they're both going to see each other as fanboys. When in reality, neither party is a fanboy, but it's hard to express yourself and your intentions on Twitter. So automatically people are going to assume, oh, you're a fanboy because I saw a video that showed and proved PS4 sales is bad. While the other people are going to be like, well, I saw a video that showed and proved it's not bad. And these two forces are going to collide. And it's going to relegate back to fanboyism. So now here's the test. Man, shut the hell up, all right? Shut your mouth, all right? I'll be there when I feel like it. Now, my man Next Gen up in there saying if I don't get my ass ready for a multiplayer. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, here's the real test. Here's the real test. Moxie, Avers. Now you see the big picture. Before, this was your aperture. That's your aperture. That's all you focused on. Now you see the big picture. I gave you 360. I gave you PS2. I even gave you Nintendo Wii. So now the question is, Moxie, Avers, G-4-G Media, what do you do now? Are you going to ignore what I just told you and run with just this information and continue to say PS4 sales are bad? If you do, now we all know where you guys are coming from. But if you're interested in the actual information, if you're interested in how the industry is, does, here's your information. And I gave you multiple. I didn't do like a 360 Xbox bashing thing. This is not a bashing Xbox because I threw in PS2 under the bus as well. PS2 is only selling one game per console per year. That's even worse than a PS4. So you can't say I'm being a Sony fanboy. I threw PS2 under the bus. And I did Nintendo. So everybody got it across the spectrum. This is fair, unbiased, same formula you guys used across the board. So now what you guys going to do about it? What type of conversations are you going to say from here on out? Are you going to still run with the narrative of PS4 game sales are bad? If you do, you could say that. I'm not saying you can't. If you still truly feel that way. But now, that also means Xbox 360 was not a good game-selling console. You have to concede to that. PS2 is not a good selling console in terms of software sell, and neither is the Wii. Because they're doing it worse than PS4. So then the real conversation should be, why are these top-selling consoles unable to sell games? What is the industry looking at? I could spin this if I wanted to. I could argue with you guys and agree and say, yeah, these game sales do suck. If I really wanted to spin this, I could spin this. Because I could say, because of the crappy 360 sales, in terms of software sales, that was the reason why Microsoft was going for TV, sports. That's why they created the Xbox One, because they saw 360 game sales as terrible. And with the PS2, because Sony saw how terrible these game sales was, that's why they focused on Blu-ray and cell processor. So you see how good I could spin information? I could spin this information any way I want. But the truth is, these sales are not bad at all. It's not. You know, when you go beyond 30 million, 40 million consoles, the majority of purchases are casual gamers. Casual gamers, you might be lucky if they play one game for 30 minutes in a 2-week period. That's the price you pay for selling 80 million, 90 million, 100 million. The more your console sells, the more you're attracting casual gamers. Hell, some of those gamers, I don't even call them casual. They just bought it on impulse. Oh, I'll just play Madden. And they play Madden like once in a 2-week period. That's what you get when you sell 80, 90, 100 million. The hardcore is like the first 20 million or so. You know, 20 to 30 million. That's your hardcore gamers when you reach those numbers. Once you go past 30 million, when you dive deep into the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, 80s, you got casuals. And they maybe buy one game a year. That's just the nature of the business. That's just how it is. That's just the reality. So from here on out, you got to ask yourself, where are you guys going to go from here on out? I gave you the information. Use the math you guys used. Various platforms. 360, PS2E, and I use PS4. So anyway, this is factual information across multiple platforms. It's all about 2018. And now it's all about what you guys are going to do with it. So to everybody in the chat, thank you so much for showing up. I hope you appreciate the video. Some of you might find this boring. I apologize for that, but my channel is going to go across multiple aspects of gaming. And one of those aspects is sales, all right? My intention is to get proper information out there so that way there's less headbutting. So Moxie, Avers, I enjoyed your video, your channel. Hey, check out their video, especially if you're an Xbox fan. They have a nice layout, nice background. It's very clean. It's very nice, very game friendly. You know, and they're having good conversation. Please don't go on their channel and attack them. Don't go out and be like, oh, Puerto did this. You guys are frauds. It's just information. It's just knowledge. In my opinion, they just focused on this, and they never bothered to go beyond PS4. They never bothered to check. Well, if we think PS4 did that, how did other consoles do? Let's look at it. And I think if they would have done that, their perception would be different. But now the information's out there. All right? So all of you out there, thank you so much for showing up. Check out the description box. You'll see the link to my Twitter. We'll continue the conversation there. You also see the link to my PayPal if you choose to donate. But if you don't, this is what I appreciate the most. You guys are rocking out in the chat. Hit up the comment section. And I got to get ready for the multiplayer podcast at 8:30. Bruh. All right, now that's all good. That's all good. So multiplayer podcast at 8:30, I guess. All right, so that's what we're doing. Anyway, but also check out the G-4-G media channel. Check out the video that I was talking about. And there we go. I have no issues with this conversation. But the numbers are there. The math's the same. Look at the results. G-4-G media. What you're going to do about what you're going to do with that information now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. This is your boy Puerto Rock 77. And I'm out. To my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Peace.